Yo, how you get fired on your day off, Craig? That's when
Bruh.
Nathaniel Hackett probably was telling himself as he got the news. Boy, that sucks. That sucks, guys. You too, what it do, man? It is your SBS team, the Sports Super Biased Sports Show, a place where a fan could be a fan no matter how biased their take is. I'm one of your hosts, B Rob, and I'm here with a couple of other dope hosts. I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
What up, what
What's
up,
up?
what up? It's your boy T Time. We back, y'all. We are back. Let's talk about it. What up?
It's time to reintroduce myself. My name is Ramon the Body Man. Ramon knows Ramon Corners. A bunch of AKAs, you know.
Hey, you keep introducing yourself like that, you're gonna get the Hackett treatment, all right? Anyways, Nathaniel Hackett, the former coach, you heard it here, former coach of the Denver Broncos was fired on a Monday. It was supposed to be Victory Monday, but instead, he's packing his boxes and he's going home as no longer employed by the Denver Broncos. What y'all thought about this, man? Like,
don't you come back no more.
it's
no
about
more,
time, right?
No more.
It's about
It's
time,
about
right?
It's past time.
because Russell Wilson. He's not getting blamed for that.
Nah.
He didn't get
He's
blamed for
making too
that.
much money.
Making too much
The
money to
coach
get
is,
blamed for
yeah,
that.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
It's easier to get rid of the coach than it is the QB. So
Nah.
get rid of them. I mean, they just weren't a good fit.
Yeah, and then my initial thoughts is teams just have to put a lot more emphasis in who they're hiring because let's think about it. Nathaniel Hackett came from Green Bay, right? You have Aaron Rodgers. That's not Russell
Typical
Wilson.
quarterback.
Like that's not Russell Wilson. So like, okay, yes, I know it's sexy, I know it's flashy to get that offensive guy, let him be the head coach of a team. Cool. I mean, we got the Lions head coach, a defensive coordinator, being the head coach of one of the top offenses in the league, right? So it really like, just because you're the offensive guy in Green Bay doesn't mean that you're gonna be a good head coach. And I mean, I just don't get it sometimes the thought process that goes in behind these teams. But at the end of the day, like, you're leaving a situation with Aaron Rodgers and you're going to Denver. Like, okay, cool. That's like a downgrade in the quarterback department. Then you guys got one of the worst offenses in the league. Like, bro, this is an L.
Yeah.
This is
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it took this long.
After like week 9.
Yeah, but from like game 1, he was just making some questionable decisions, and just every week they just looked worse and worse and worse and worse. And when you got Russ on your fantasy, it just hurts, man. Because I picked up Russ, I was like, "Yo, this about to be."
We both know
he's about to bless me, and he cursed me like it was that bad. So,
yeah,
at least he was working out in the play.
He's doing something. He was doing something. So, right. So he's gone. Daniel Hackett's out of there. His
he did a hack job.
Is over.
He did a hack job.
He got hacked. That's what happened. So
the part that got me head scratching is their interim head coach is the person that Hackett brought in to help him with game management and clock management. How that makes sense? But
listen, they
just need a warm body right now.
Yeah, like you got to just try to brace yourself some way, somehow, and that's what they're doing. They're just they I mean, you can't have another Jeff Saturday hiring. That's over for it. So
don't go hire Ted Bailey.
Exactly.
Like, don't go hire Peyton Manning. Well, maybe Peyton Manning work, but like somebody who like, come on, bro. Like you should be coaching, bro.
Shannon Sharp. They just call Shay Sharp out there.
Listen, all his plays for the sideline gonna be skip, skip.
Skip, skip, skip.
Shout out to Shannon.
Oh, big shout out. So I got this tweet, right? And it's from Josina Anderson. And these are the guys that are on the list. You got Dan Quinn, Daryl Bevel, Eric Bieniemy, Sean Payton, D'Amico Ryans, and Shane Steichen. These are the guys that are on the list potentially for the Denver Broncos to replace Daniel Hackett. Now, each of these guys, some are offensive guys, some are defensive guys. Any of these names stick out to y'all? What y'all think?
I'll say for me, I have a name. He's not quite on that list. You know, he got a big chin. He got the cleft chin. That man, Bill Cowher. I think he might be making a comeback. He's been wanting to coach for a while. Who knows? But if it's not going to be him, I would say Dan Quinn. He gone.
Oh, you think Dan Quinn is going to Denver?
He's going somewhere, and Denver is the one who got the available coach right now. He's gone. He's first on everybody's list right now.
Yeah, but he was first on everybody's list last year, and what did he do? He stayed in Dallas. He stayed in Dallas.
That's because Jerry Jones was like, "I'm gonna give you some stocks. Here go a few mil. Just stay put. Your boy's getting fired next year after we screw up in the playoffs."
Honestly,
so he already know what's coming.
Really, the reports have been coming out that Sean Payton is really interested in the Cowboys spot. So I don't, and that's been reports since last year. So if that was the case, Dan Quinn wouldn't have stayed with the expectation of becoming a head coach. I honestly don't think that he wants to be a head coach. I think that he's pretty comfortable with where he's at as being a defensive coordinator. Now, not to say that he won't go be somebody else's D coordinator, but I just don't think that he wants to be a head coach, especially on a team like Denver, who, look at what just happened. Like, Hackett looked horrible. Like, that defense wasn't the problem. The offense is the problem. So why would you need a defensive coordinator, a defensive-minded coach? Like, Dan Campbell is doing great in Detroit, but that's Detroit. Like, that's what Detroit is. Like, they're a blue-collar.
He has a good offensive coordinator there. He has a good offensive coordinator.
Who's probably going to be gone next year.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And I'm not a big fan of this whole, we just keep
blow up one
recycling.
Year, that's it.
Yeah, like I feel like it's just gonna keep being this.
It's crazy because the league actually came out and said something about teams constantly flipping head coaches, and so they put out a graph and sent it to the owners of like the percentage of teams that has been changing quarterbacks. Coaches in the last 10 to 15 years. And it don't, a lot of our teams is on there. But when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, you see the teams that have sustained success has had their coaches for at least more than 3 to 4 years. And I think for me, the name that stick out the most, I know it's a sore thumb for like people in this cycle when it comes to coaches, is Eric Bieniemy. And if there's anybody who I feel like has the most head coaching, kind of experience to be able to, not experience, but ability to step into that role, will be Eric Bieniemy. Because in Kansas City, he's not primarily the play caller, right? So if he's primarily not the play caller, but he's helping get the offense run, and although in some instances they'll tell you that he is the play caller, but for a long time he hasn't been a play caller. And what does good head coaches do? They relinquish certain tasks and roles to people who they know can get it done, right? So if you got Eric Bieniemy, he knows how to function, at least run a good functioning offense. He can just give the the play calling to an offensive coordinator. I don't like the route of picking an offensive coordinator for the head coach just because that's the new fad. To me, it doesn't really mean that it's going to have success. I know it's a hard thing to do is pick a head coach, but I think as far as Sean Payton goes, I don't know. It really just depends on how he feel about Russell Wilson, because think about it. Russell Wilson is locked in. Like, he's locked, and he just signed an extension this year, so He's locked in. So Sean Payton has to. If
There's
for
an
him to
out
take
next year though. There's an out
no, no,
next
no,
year.
no, 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 no. He's extended. Like he signed an
No,
extension.
no. What's his name? I was here listening to today. After this year, then the cap hit was not going to be ridiculous if they do it next year, after next season.
Talking about for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, if they get
Bro, he signed a 5-year contract this
yeah.
year. Like he signed a 5-year
Yeah,
contract.
he get the
Bonnet man
guarantee.
talking about the cap hit, but he's locked in. Like
no, he's locked in. So for
Yeah.
Sean Payton to like go there, he has to come to terms with not only does he's gonna be stuck with Russell Wilson for the next couple of years, he also don't have draft picks for the next 2 years. Like he's starting in the 3rd round both years for the next 2 years. So I mean, that's a lot for somebody to be like, yeah, I want to take that job.
Yeah,
You know,
it's going to take a lot for Sean Payton to get there anyway.
Right, because he's still with the Saints. But real quick off of what you're saying though, wouldn't Russ resemble a Drew Brees type quarterback? You know what I mean? So like, it's pretty. Drew Brees was short, he was mobile. Different things like that. So I could see that. And there's reports coming out where Sean Payton is putting together this A1 coaching staff. The only thing that has to happen for whoever gets him, if it's Dallas, whoever, is that they have to trade for Sean Payton because his rights are still owned by the New Orleans Saints. But a name on this list that I would say sticks out is 2 names, right? Because if you went either way, I don't think it's Dan Quinn. If it's me and I'm looking for a defensive-minded head coach, I'm going with DeMeco Ryans, the 49ers defensive coordinator, who has the number 1 ranked defense in the league. But then if I'm going offense, then I'm going with Shane Steichen, who is the Eagles offensive coordinator. So I would think that it would really come down to one of those guys. And me personally, for having Russ, I would go with Shane Steichen because look at the offense that Jalen Hurts is doing, scheme, versus player. It's a mix of both. You got to have the right player to fit the right scheme. And Daniel Hackett, his scheme did not work for Russ. Russ is a mobile guy. His best throws is when he's outside of the pocket. He's a little guy. He can move. So if you look at the way the Eagles offense is run, there are a lot of read options. It's a lot of stuff where they're moving. Jalen isn't just sitting in the pocket, holding the ball. He's moving around. So
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, right? Because the 2 names that you brought up, excellent names, but also made me think of this, right? So what this coach, I'm gonna paint the picture and then I'll ask my question. So this coach left the 49ers organization, plays for another team that has a top defense in the league now, in playoff contention. Only thing they're missing is a quarterback, right? And I'm talking about Robert Saleh and the New York Jets. So what if you do take the defensive coordinator from the 49ers, you put him on the Broncos, right? Smart, get his guys in the building, good offensive coordinator, right? Because he's not going to call the plays, right? Get a good offensive coordinator, keep that defense clicking, and he has a quarterback, right? I don't think that'd be a bad option either. Like if he can replicate what Saleh is doing, but actually have a quarterback, I don't think that's a bad move.
That's true.
And then the only thing that I can say about the Sean Payton thing is, I don't know. I can't see him going to Dallas, just because I don't know. At the end of the day, when you go to Dallas, you're still under Jerry Jones, and
Jerry
we know Sean Payton. Sean Payton not a yes man. He had too much success. Like he's had too much success. He knows what greatness looks like. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, I could see him. I mean, there's some reports that saying Sean Payton is going back to the Saints, which that doesn't really make sense to me. Like, why would you leave there, retire for a year, and then come back? Like, nothing changed about the Saints. Like, they didn't get.
I mean, they do got a better roster now, though. They got an offense.
They
just don't got a quarterback.
But they're missing a quarterback. They're missing a quarterback. So you know what I mean? Like if I'm Sean Payton, that's
true.
You know, if I'm Sean Payton, I'm going somewhere that has a QB. In theory, right? Denver has a QB. They just don't have a head coach. So you could make that work. They got weapons. You know what I mean? That offense has weapons. They got a good defense.
I mean, Tim Patrick been hurt all year, so that's another wide receiver coming back too next year.
So does this mean that Russell Wilson is just not a good QB? Because if you took any coach and put him on a team with Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson or something, I don't think it would be this bad.
I don't think I can say that though.
I don't think it would be this bad though.
Scheme matters. And this is Russell's first year in a new scheme. So you know, it's gonna be rocky. Like it's gonna be rocky. It sucks.
You have an experienced quarterback. You need an experienced coach.
That's a fact.
And that's what they shouldn't have. I don't know why they thought that this was going to be a good fit. You have a veteran QB and a rookie head coach. Those things do not go together.
Fact. Because veteran coaches, they know how to pivot when something ain't going right.
Exactly.
Well, look at Aaron Rodgers and oh boy, now they're making a run.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, they had to fight. But Aaron Rodgers and Russ is two different breeds of QB. Like
exactly.
Russell Wilson needs weapons, right? Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, creates weapons. If y'all get what I'm saying, like I mean, he's had Devontae, but I mean, look at him. Like the dude, he elevates his wide receiver group, whereas for Russ, his wide receiver group elevates him. So
facts.
You know, I think that there's some good names out there, but if it's me and I'm the Denver Broncos ownership group or whatever, I'm going with an offensive coordinator, and it's either Stechens or Sean Payton. Those would be my two guys that I will go.
If it's me, I say Bill Cowher or me. Might as well shoot your shot.
He's a quarterback. He's a head coach.
Shot. Broncos, I'm available.
If it's me, shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Sean Payton, get that man in the building.
Yeah,
get that man in the building.
Well, listen, this is the SBS show where a fan could be a fan, no matter how biased it takes out. We appreciate y'all. Do us a favor, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and we need more subs. We're moving on up. We're going up. We're moving up, and we want you to be another one. So hit that subscribe button for us, and we appreciate all the support. We out of here, y'all. Peace.